Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, learn about Wreaths Across America, a group that serves hundreds of veterans' cemeteries throughout the world with a simple mission to remember, honor, teach. Then find out how most New Year's traditions are meant to set the tone for the rest of the year. Next, enjoy a poem from Ron Wilson, and we'll end with Nola Ochs, the world's oldest college graduate. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. Well, good morning. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And this is Around Kansas.
And it's our last Wednesday of 2016,
Good
Frank.
grief, 2016 has just gone.
Gone.
I mean, throughout the year we were saying, can you believe how fast this is going? And now
It's done.
here it is.
I still can't believe it. Still can't believe it. Well, it's been a heck of a year, Frank.
It has been a very interesting year.
My year, I have to say, has been very good. I got a good man, and I got a new grandbaby, and you know that's an awful lot of blessings in one year.
And
it
you're
really
living
is.
out there on the high plains.
Living out in the high plains of Kansas, I love it. Yeah,
Just a stone's throw from Colorado.
So Jake the other day said something. I said something about our being nuts, and he says, "Well, you know, we got to be a little nuts to be here." And I'm like, "What do you mean here? Here where?" He said, "Here with like 11 horses and 15 sock monkeys."
Sock monkeys.
Jake and his sock monkeys.
I don't think I'll ask you to explain that.
Well, we've got them, and I had them displayed all around the Christmas tree. You know, I've got this, you know, and all pretty, and so the little pairs of sock monkeys sitting all over the living room, you know, and you got little Christmas sock monkeys and all that. And the cats are just like enamored. They're just like cuddling up the sock monkeys and... Don't judge me, Frank.
And they don't attack them. They just look at them.
They love them.
Probably freaked out by a sock.
No, they're cuddling. They cuddle up to them. No, yeah, don't judge me, Frank. All right. So speaking of nutcases, yeah. Okay.
Oh
so,
yeah, nutcases, Boston Corbett.
Other than me, in the latest Journal of the Kansas Bar Association, this is the November-December issue, and my good dear friend, Meg Wickham, who, you know Meg, who is Susie Marchant's daughter, and like that ain't claim to fame enough. She is, I don't know, she's some big deal over at the Kansas Bar Association. So anyway, I have an article on crazy Boston Corbett, and I think we have a segment on Boston Corbett coming up sometime. We may have done one in the past, but it's always good to visit crazy Boston Corbett. So we'll have another one coming up sometime.
Yeah.
In January, we'll mark Charles Curtis's birthday, and so Corbett is always mentioned with Charles Curtis, and read the article and you'll find out why. So we'll find the opportunity to talk about him again. And we've got another big thing coming up in January. You know, next year, can hardly wait for next year. The Museum of Also-Rans. In Norton.
In Norton.
Yeah, so bless her heart, Hillary Clinton will join the
Also-Rans.
The infamous photos in the Also-Ran Gallery in Norton, Kansas, and they have a big ceremony, you know, and I don't know if Hillary's coming to that or not. We'll have to check. We will let you know, though. We'll check on that and let you know.
Yeah.
Lecompton. The name was splashed across newspapers throughout America and Europe. It was debated in the halls of Congress. Lecompton interprets its unique territorial history with 2 museums and other sites. Events throughout the year celebrate history and community. Visit the Territorial Capitol Museum, where more than 70 trees are displayed with thousands of antique and vintage ornaments, and be sure to stop in the gift shops in both Lecompton museums. Spend the day in historic Lecompton, shopping, eating, savoring the rich history.
Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. And we're back again. It looks like we both got the same memo. We're wearing our vests today. It's not because we're cold, because the Dillon house is quite comfortable. It's just that it's winter time now.
You walk outside the Dillon house. Let me tell you, the high plains of western Kansas. You know, I work with Jake at the sale barn in Wakini on Tuesdays. And because he can't find any decent help, you know, so he's got me. And he bought me a pair of insulated coveralls. Nothing says love, Frank, like a pair of insulated coveralls, let me tell you. And I will also tell you, some days that ain't enough. That's it is, yeah, winter on the high plains. It's not for sissies. It's not for sissies.
Out there, you know, I don't know. You're going to have somebody follow you around with a camera, because I just can't imagine you tramping around on a farm in coveralls and work gloves
I don't know why
a floppy hat.
I don't know why people have such a hard time picturing it. You know, I grew up like that, but barefoot and the whole 9 yards. But yeah, it's a challenge. Now, speaking of Wakini, there's something else. Wakini plays into this next story. The Veterans Cemetery, you know, State Veterans Cemetery. And I think we did in May when we were featuring the Veterans Cemeteries. I think we featured the one at Wakini. I don't know if we featured our other state cemeteries or not. We have 3 other state Veterans Cemeteries and some national cemeteries, but the Wreaths Across America. So if you have one of these cemeteries near you, now is the time. I think the wreaths, they're still out there. Now is the time to go see this, because it is so beautiful with those, just the simple greenery wreaths with the red ribbon on these veterans' graves. It is beautiful. So this story is all about how this tradition began.
Wakini and the other 3 state veterans cemeteries at Fort Dodge, Fort Riley, and Winfield, and our national cemeteries, take part each year in the Wreaths Across America project. The effort began with Arlington National Cemetery and now serves hundreds of cemeteries throughout the world. The tradition began with a little boy's visit to our first national cemetery, Arlington. Morrill Worcester was only a 12-year-old paper boy when he won a trip to the nation's capital. The images of Arlington stayed with him. Years later, he was the owner of a successful business, Worcester Wreath, when he saw an opportunity in the surplus wreaths at the end of the holiday. He contacted Maine Senator Olympia Snowe and arranged to place wreaths in one of the older sections of Arlington, one not often visited. A number of other individuals and organizations stepped up to help, and a tradition was born, a tradition not widely noticed until 2005, when a photograph of those snow-covered wreath-laden graves was shared on the internet. Others wanted to do the same. Worcester began sending 7 wreaths to every state, one for each branch of the military and for POW MIAs. In 2006, with the help of Civil Air Patrol and other organizations, simultaneous wreath-laying ceremonies were held at over 150 locations around the country. In 2007, the Worcester family, along with veterans and other groups and individuals who had helped with their annual Veterans Wreath Ceremony in Arlington, formed Wreaths Across America to continue and expand this effort and support other groups around the country who wanted to do the same. The mission of the group is simple: remember, honor, teach. In 2014, Wreaths Across America and its national network of volunteers laid over 700,000 memorial wreaths at 1,000 locations in the United States and beyond, including ceremonies at the Pearl Harbor Memorial, as well as Bunker Hill, Valley Forge, and the sites of September 11 tragedies. This was accomplished with help from more than 2,000 fundraising groups, corporate contributions, and donations of trucking, shipping, and thousands of helping hands. The organization's goal of covering Arlington National Cemetery was met in 2014 with the placement of 226,525 wreaths.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
The new Better Horses Network is worldwide. Presented by Lucas Oil. Featuring worldwide radio and TV with iconic hosts like Al Dunning, Sharon Camarillo, Ernie Rodina, Lindy Birch, and Craig Cameron. With American Cowboy, Horse and Rider, Brushy Creek, Cavenders, and Ride TV. Worldwide radio and TV. The all-new Better Horses Network.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. And here we are again, the last Wednesday of the year 2016. Good grief, 2017 coming.
It is, and
Yeah.
I was looking at Christmas stories, and was talking about the things between Christmas and New Year's, and you've got Boxing Day in England, and I think Canada, the day after Christmas, and they don't know exactly where the term Boxing Day came from. Sometimes they said the churches would box things for the poor after Christmas, and there's just all kinds of ideas about that, but this time of year, there's just a lot of myths and superstitions and traditions, and that's what your next story is about, Frank.
Yeah, it's really kind of an interesting time. I mean, we just kind of take New Year's Eve and the New Year's
Just a big
Day
party.
as a big party and all that, but there's a lot more to it, and there, all of the little stories and superstitions and anyway, it's an interesting story. I don't want to get ahead of everything.
Well, I will put in one little plug about this story because I found it very interesting. The whole thing about the brunette crossing your threshold.
Yeah.
So I am available on New Year's Eve for if anybody needs a brunette to walk over their threshold on New Year's Eve, and you'll hear what that's about.
Well, and then
The blondes will be out of work on New Year's. Let me tell you.
one about don't throw anything out, but then there's another belief that says, well, throw everything
Throw
out.
everything
Just-
out.
I don't know, but it's kind of a cool story, so.
It's fun.
Most of the traditions or superstitions we associate with New Year's are meant to set the tone for what the rest of the year will be. Our relationships, our fortunes throughout the year, our health and wealth and happiness, all of these are set in motion by our actions on New Year's Eve. Midnight is the magic moment. We kiss someone special at midnight to ensure the affections will continue. Also, making noise at midnight isn't just about celebration, but a means of scaring away evil spirits and making sure that the incoming year isn't cursed. Many traditions bang pots and pans, fire guns, set off firecrackers, anything loud enough to scare away the devil. Another tradition involves the first person to come into your home after the new year has arrived. A dark-haired person brings good luck, and according to some sources, even better luck if he or she is bearing gifts. A lump of coal for warmth, a silver coin for wealth, a bit of bread for plenty. A sprig of evergreen and a pinch of salt are lucky as well. This person should leave through a different door than the one he or she entered. Redheads and blondes are not so lucky, and you should shoo them away until a brunette steps across your threshold. These are some traditions that say nothing should leave the house on New Year's Day, no garbage, no recycling, no big purging, and others that encourage you to open the windows and toss out the old to make room for the new. Of course, there are many traditions around food. Some of the most popular are eating black-eyed peas and greens for good luck and financial prosperity. Chicken or turkey are not recommended for a New Year's meal, probably because the Christmas leftovers should have been consumed or thrown out by now. It's believed that eating these foods on New Year's Day will bring financial struggles. There are some things over which we have no control, like the direction of the wind. If the wind comes from the south on New Year's morn, it brings prosperous times. From the north, bad weather will be the norm. A wind from the east brings famine and calamities, and from the west, the year will bring plenty of milk and fish, but also death. It's best to wish for no wind, the sign of a joyful year to come, but not likely in Kansas. Whatever your beliefs about the new year, we hope you are blessed to spend that day and every day doing meaningful work with people you love. Happy New Year.
Person who's involved in ag production and cattle ranching, Bill Rischel here in North Platte, told me about Kansas regenerative medicine. And after talking to Dr. Pope, we did a lot of reading and researching, looking on the internet about it. I guess the thing that impressed me is that he told me, he said, if we don't think it's going to help you, we're not going to do it. I thought that was a very good approach. I'm a former athlete, played college basketball, played overseas after college, had some severe trauma on the right ankle, right knee, joint in my hand also. This brace is what I had to wear all the time. Now I don't wear this during the day. That's a real improvement for me. My knee doesn't bother me. This joint came around quick. It was the first thing I noticed improving. You can see in the background here there's different fish and game that I hunt. The ability to walk was impacting my outdoor endeavors. I think it's really valuable, and encourage anybody that's interested to go down and at least do a consultation with them.
Fort Wallace stood on the frontier in the midst of the Plains Indians Wars on a major stage route and rail line. Beside the 1865 stagecoach station, a modern museum with thousands of artifacts tell that story, like the fossil of a 40-foot plesiosaur is suspended from the ceiling. Located on Highway 40 midway between Hayes and Colorado Springs, the Fort Wallace Museum is as welcome a sight today as the fort itself in the 1860s. Discover the fightingest fort in the West. This segment brought to you by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Find out more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
A cowboy has a lot of dirty, messy jobs, and oftentimes that involves the south end of a cow going north. But when we're sorting cattle, there's a very important job, and that is the job of the gate man. It's kind of a thankless job because he has to make some split-second decisions. In his honor, this poem is entitled, The Gate Man. There are certain thankless jobs that you encounter in this life, like a policeman given parking tickets, or perhaps the farmer's wife who is sent to town for parts. Oh, it's about yay big. We don't know the model number, but it looks like a thingamajig. Those jobs are truly thankless, but among the cowboy clan, there is no job so thankless as that of the gate man. When we go to sorting cattle, then the gate man's simple job is to open and shut the gate when we separate the mob. But that task ain't nearly as simple as it sounds. He must decide in a split second with chaos all around. He may have angry steers a-barreling straight toward him, or a crazy cow that will dodge or jump or kick upon a whim. He gets splattered by manure and have the gate tore from his hand, but he must do the job just right to meet the boss's demand. His head may be spinning from the contrary directions about. One cowboy says to stop the calf, and the other says, turn him out. So the gate man's job is thankless, but he can always protect his fate by saying to his critics, all right, it's your turn to man the gate. Happy trails.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information. This segment brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Should old acquaintance be forgot?
Anyway, yeah, here we are near New Year's. We've been yakking about that, but you know, as each year passes, it's kind of like we're fortunate to still be here.
Absolutely.
And you know, look forward to new things in the new year.
Absolutely. And we say goodbye to some things that have gone on and some people who have passed on. And one of those is Nola Ochs. And I know that most of you are familiar with Nola's story. I won't, get in the way of the story, but I just tell you what I think this means to Frank and me as you're leaving 2016 behind and leaving some people behind perhaps, or some situations. Life changes. It's all about, the only constant is change, and transition. And so it's just a period of transition. And I don't think there's a better guiding spirit for all that transition than that of Nola Ochs. What an incredible, inspiring lady she was. And we are so thrilled to pay tribute to her with this next spot.
In 2007, Nola Essie Ochs graduated from Fort Hays State University. This is a commendable accomplishment, but even more so for Nola. The diploma put her in the Guinness World Record books as the world's oldest college graduate at 95 years old. Focusing her studies on history, she graduated alongside her 21-year-old granddaughter. Nola's diploma was presented by then-Governor Kathleen Sebelius. This degree was a long time coming. After the death of her husband Vernon, Nola began to take classes at Dodge City Community College, graduating in 1988. In 1991, she enrolled as a full-time student at St. Mary of the Plains College with the dream of graduating from a four-year college. But the college closed before that dream could be fulfilled. Upon achieving that goal, she garnered many honors, including Kansas Woman Leader of the Year, and she appeared on many television shows, including The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, The Early Show, MSNBC, and CBS News. But Nola was on a roll, and once the wheat harvest was done, she went back to school and became the oldest recipient of a master's degree at the age of 98. I've led a long, interesting life. We went through the dust storms. We had some difficult times in our marriage financially, but it's been the Lord's will that I've lived this long life, and I thank Him kindly for it, said Nola in one of the school's press releases. She marked her 100th birthday as a graduate teaching assistant. Afterwards, she went back to the farm and wrote a book of her life's memoirs, which is in the process of being published.
Well, we're done for 2016, so I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere
around
Kansas.
Kansas.
Welcome to Kansas, gateway to Oz.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream.
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agamInKansas.com.